So I came down the next play and I was like, I'm gonna really sauce it now. I had the triple threat. I threw it off dude's face, right? I was trying to go heezy to legs, right? But like a tap, you know, because if you do the heezy right, it doesn't hurt.
It's innocent.
Yeah, you're supposed to do it like this close, you know what I'm saying? You tap, they're gonna be pissed off. That's when you go legs, you know what I'm saying?
Combo.
But I think he thought like I just disrespected him, so he got pissed. He grabbed me. He like threw me 5 feet or 6 feet, like picked me up and threw me. He wanted to like do something worse, but I'm sure second thoughts came in, so.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Dope As Usual podcast. I am Thomas Dope As Yola, whatever you want to call me. I'm with my co-host, Marty O'Neill.
What's up, guys?
Guys, I'm excited. We always get stoked, but Marty and I, we're geeked out, all right? You guys know from all the episodes how stoked we are. We said this season 1. How sick would it be to get him on the show? So season 3 coming in hot. Guys, this is the Professor episode. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Humbled.
Super stoked,
Glad
man.
to be here with you guys.
Very excited. We talked,
If we've had 110 episodes,
108.
50 of them have been deep and one talk.
Oh, let's go.
No, so we didn't want to talk about it too much, but 1 out of every 3 episodes, we're talking something, and one that's, he played basketball in college. We talked about it on the Matt Barnes episode. I tried, but I'm the little fat Mexican kid. I'm like, just throw me the ball, I'll try my best.
The game's fun at every level, though. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like that's why I always tell people. I think when people talk to me, they feel like they have to be like great to hold a convo, or like for me to think they're cool. But I'm like, nah, like it's fun just to shoot around. Like, you know what I'm saying? The game is fun at every level. So.
And if everybody that could talk to you could cross you, it wouldn't be that fun for you. You'd be talking with 6 fools.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No, that's exactly what happened. But we just wanted to get straight into it. Marty and I wanted to talk about it right off the start. Your social media presence is massive. You still go hard. Actually, I feel like it's getting bigger than it was when I first started seeing you on YouTube.
I hope so.
I feel it is because even my little brother's Cam's age, he's 9. And dude, you still got 9-year-olds going nuts. And we're mid-30s and still going nuts. You know what I mean? So you have a very good demographic of people.
Humble,
and
bro.
I feel like that YouTube, I think you found that rhythm and algorithm, like good, clean fun. And it's just, it's good to see.
Well, what I find that's interesting is we've had on a lot of different guests from a lot of different, sports, music, gaming, comedy, you know, everything. But across all platforms, I don't know if pound for pound, there's anybody that's been on the show that's more consistent with their reach and just their content across all the different platforms. It's super. It's like you just crossed over 1 billion on YouTube. God knows where you're at on TikTok. Instagram's going crazy. So, I'm sure a lot of the fans probably saw the And1 documentary, and, we have a younger fan base, so they might be kind of like learning that story for the first time. But I was just thinking, like, even just on the drive up here, like, everybody at the end of it was kind of left in the same playing field in terms of what now. Like, we all just had this huge boost of being on this. Now, what's the next chapter of life going to go for? And just me being really deep into branding and building, small businesses and stuff like that, like, what was that transition like? What were you thinking of in terms of, like, making that next step into, like, am I going to go to Nike? Am I going to go to Reebok? Am I going to build my own brand? That would probably take a long time.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, Nike and all that was, like, somewhere far off in the distance. Like, it wasn't happening. Like, when And1 ended, it got bought out, by a different entity, and that's what happened, right? They sold the company, and I think it went for 2 or 3 more years after that. Like, I think it was, we were on the day I got the cover of we were on the cover of the Sports Illustrated. The day they put it in my hand, it wasn't 5 minutes. Somebody tapped me on the shoulder. Can't remember who it was, and they told me, like, hey, the company's just been bought out.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And me, I'm 23, so I'm like, well, what does that mean? Are we still hooping? And then somebody was like, yeah, you're still hooping. I was like, okay, cool. But, like, I had no idea what that meant. So, like, me and Main Event, we were talking about it. We're like, I think we're in good hands. You know what I'm saying? We still got a big tour next year. Let's go, right? So it was like, it's all good. But the truth was, I think they fulfilled their production deal, their deal with ESPN. And then when it ran out, that was it. But the funny thing is, right around that time, it's like street ball and the whole wave of handles and carry moves and or that style of play just like went out the window. Like Iverson's crossover was a carry. Hip hop fashions were ruled out of the NBA, right? You couldn't no longer dress like that. And one like Iverson, right, with do-rag and a big white tee. All of a sudden now cats is button-ups.
At the press conferences and stuff, you mean?
Everything
right?
flipped, and like street ball wasn't relevant. I didn't even get recognized in 2009 to 2000, somewhere in 2011, like I went to a UCLA game and one person recognized me. They came up to me and they were like, hey, weren't you in some like tournament or something? Like,
Oh, hell no.
yeah, but like that's before social, right? I mean, I've had social, but before we even knew what social was gonna be, before we knew how to properly brand, I had like a MySpace and a Facebook.
Yeah.
So like back in the day, once that TV show ends or that acting wave, like if it goes 12 months, you're out of there. Nobody gonna remember. You think about today, we can forget somebody's on social. So the thought was, hey, we did overseas tours more than we toured the U.S. So when I go to UK and Paris and Asia, like people would always rush me and they'd be like, yo, Professor, what's good? And I would always like try to have, show the fans love. I'd be like, thank you so much for watching the show. But a couple people would correct me and they'd be like, no, we seen you on YouTube. Oh. So I was looking into YouTube like 05, 06. I was trying to flood YouTube because people would rip our highlights from the ESPN show.
Get views on it.
Make fan compilations and they were going berserk. Like, I saw a Professor mix, a Hot Sauce mix, Main Event mix. There was like several of mine. They were all getting like 3 to 5 million views. One had 10. So I was like, why don't we make our own? You know what I'm saying? And then the goal was to get bookings though. YouTube AdSense didn't start till 08.
So you're pre-getting paid.
So I've been on YouTube since like 05, 06, not even getting a dime, but you could get a DM back in the day on YouTube. So I was hoping for some bookings. And I was actually running out of my homies, the editor, his channel. So when AdSense came about, I started my own channel 2009.
When you say booking, what are you referring to?
Somebody hits you up like, hey, you want to come to Brazil and play in this exhibition for X amount of money?
Damn.
Yada, yada. Yeah, I mean, that's...
You get paid like that to go play? I didn't realize this.
Yeah, after And1 ended, I used to just like travel the world playing one-off, either just off-branded exhibition games or appearances, or it'd be like And1, because And1 was in 40 countries. So like my last And1 game was in 2010 in Angola, Africa. But people wouldn't even know, right? It was off the scene for years at that point, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, 2010, I feel like that was well past.
Yeah, stopped. 08 was the last ESPN season. And so, look, back to your question, what it looks like to build a brand, I'm just like freestyling. I'm like, start this YouTube up, hopefully get some DMs, keep the show money going. But I went completely broke. I was selling my own And1 jerseys on eBay.
Oh, no.
Man, it got to the point of that.
It went bad. It went bad to like, but I was living check to check. I was a kid. I thought the money we make millions of dollars. We were going crazy. So like, I had a condo in LA. I had a condo in Oregon where I'm from. I had a Benz. I had 5 cell phones for, I don't know.
I'm not even trapping. I got 5 cell phones.
Yeah, I had like 3 Wi-Fi bills. I had like the USB Wi-Fi chip you take with you. Like,
you were just going hard, man.
Yeah, it was different. So I was living check to check. So when it ended, it was like, well, what now? And I was like, I wasn't as well spoken. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want training to be a trainer. I'm like, it's for small time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just trying to figure it out.
So do you think if they wouldn't have sold, would the run have kept going, or was it just the timing of it all?
I think it would have kept going. ESPN, I found out later, didn't turn it away. Like the company just turned it away.
No.
The company tried to go like more conventional, which I can't blame them. They tried to expand, right? Let's go back to NBA focus. We'll still do a little bit of everything. I remember the dude when he told me, he's like, hey man, he's like the And1 mixtape tour. I remember that, I'll never forget, he was like, it's just a branch on the tree, you know what I'm saying? It ain't the trunk, you know what I'm saying? It's just a branch, not knowing like it actually was it was built off, off the mixtapes and street ball, and that's how it rose to the forefront, because it was so different. It was so different, it's not college, it's not the NBA, it's not high school, it's its own thing. So it was the only basketball thing that really survived outside of the Globetrotters, but obviously it was the cool Globetrotters. So yeah, I think the funny thing is, they had intern PR on And1 mixtape. We never even had a Hollywood rep.
The whole time?
The whole time. It was just so big. You know how it is. Even me now, like I actually only pay for PR like once in a blue. I don't really do it. But I get mainstream hit ups all the time. And it's like, hey, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Those are $10,000 appearances if you have PR and if those people decide to bring you on, like say like the Ellen show, right?
Oh, gotcha.
You can pay a $10,000 PR to pitch you to Ellen. They still gotta say like whether they want it or not. Gotcha. But like I get those for free, so I was like, let's get it. But
I always wondered about
anyway,
that.
And1 never got repped by like a CAA, William Morris back in the day. They never
just going hard
went to
with it.
Hollywood.
Just went through the streets and then just global.
It was the streets with mainstream coming to them. But like, could it have gone long? I mean, if it would have played the cards right and then branch out in Hollywood, I think it could have went. I don't know.
That was probably the last like organic street brand that they printed off 50,000 tapes. Give
I mean,
them
this
away
is
for
season
free.
1. This will do
Yeah.
30 minutes on the end, on the beginning of all this.
Yeah, no, that's
this is
legendary
years
to me.
coming
That
right
like
now.
bridges the gap from pre-internet to into the internet. You guys, Kimbo Slice, same
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, no, that was my childhood. Like I
Thanks,
can't even
bro.
tell you how many times I got called professor. Like
You
that
got
was
white dude playing ball.
like,
Exactly.
it was towards the
And
end
he's
of my
from Buffalo.
career.
I love
Yeah,
that.
But
We played up there. We played like Rochester, upstate New York one time.
well, and one came to Buffalo one
we
time.
did.
You weren't there
It was
though.
a side game, right? It wasn't actual and
It was so disrespectful. I felt so horrible. Like it was at ECC, the community college downtown, which is like dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But even before the game, like the players showed up late. I remember there was just tension outside the building before the game even started. And then we get in there, and the players came a little bit late, and they came out, and one of the N1 players had just passed away
Escalade.
before Flash, I think.
Oh, flat. Oh, so this is like in the height of N1. This
Yeah.
is 04, 05.
And they tried to have a moment of silence for him.
And nobody
And
showed
they
up.
were being all ignorant. Like during the moment, I was so embarrassed to just be from the town in that moment. It was just mortified me. But then we had Paul Harris, who was a superstar at Syracuse. We were just talking about him before the episode. Like he was a part of that LeBron, Carmelo, McDonald's class. And yeah, he was playing at Syracuse. He was in the game, and I remember like him going up for a dunk, and the dude from N1 pinning it against the backboard. Like everybody was going insane. I don't know.
See,
like
that energy
I
is
haven't
so
felt
hard
that
to
vibe
to
since then.
duplicate, dude.
It is. And
Like,
you know,
I get juice right now. That was so long ago. Like,
that was the beauty of street ball too, is it was like really just literally just a street brand and everything was real. There's no script. We didn't that reality show was an actual reality show,
Yeah.
but there was always just so much natural
you guys were
drama,
vlogging, man.
Yeah.
toxicity. Yeah, it was a
Before
vlog.
vlogs.
The whole
The
show was a
original-
vlog.
But you got to see, and it was the extra layer. Because I remember I was like 9 or 10 watching, like, and then when you came, I'm like, yeah, how much old? He's barely older than me.
Yeah,
and I remember getting so
exactly.
juiced, like, this was a kid.
Yeah.
And then we all thought we could do it. I just started dribbling under my knee, thinking I was a
God.
shit.
So
We
ridiculous.
all were doing that, dude.
Out there in the snow.
Yeah.
I broke my collarbone. I was out there still with it in the sling.
Oh, I
That type
remember
of
all
shit.
of it. I was at the flea market the first time I saw the tape. Question.
Yeah.
What's the first time you ever heard of And One?
Oh, see, you know, I was a fan. I was on that end before because I literally came on N1 right before the halfway point. You know what I'm saying?
Meaning which season?
Well, you got to think. So N1 started in '99. You know, N1 Mixtape Volume 1 came out in 1999. Skip to my Lou.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the first year then.
Yeah. So
Flea
like,
markets.
I didn't even. I found out about it in '01. I remember getting a Volume 2 tape, and then shortly after that, I bought Volume 1 on eBay. You know what I'm saying? And I checked that out once I saw because Volume 1 was a little hotter than Volume 2 in my opinion. So when I saw Skip at the Rucker and he was like young and like I was already into Showtime basketball just naturally. It's like God's plan, you know what I'm saying? I tried to play like Tim Hardaway, Rod Strickland, you know, Allen Iverson at that time was like, you know, I'm doing that crossover. So like when And One came, I'm like, yo, this is it. So I like that probably more than the NBA. I didn't even know it at the time. I stayed up with it in high school. I cultured And One. Remember, you weren't even a hooper unless you wore like the long shorts.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I was too damn poor
Speeder,
for that one.
you know,
With the cutoff sleeves.
Yeah.
With the Tai Chis. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that I got tight. I have that style. My senior in high school, I got Tai Chi's on. This before I'm on N1. So then I go to JUCO. I walked on to JUCO. I barely made it because I look like I'm 12 years old. I always had offensive skills.
How old were you when you first started?
18.
Oh, dude, I was under the impression that you were a child still. I thought you were like
You
15
looked
or
like you
16.
were.
Well, I look like I was 12. Like
yeah,
literally.
that's what it was. I thought you were underage this whole time.
No, I actually even played a year at JUCO, but I only played like 2 minutes a game because like I never got a shot at the conventional game because like when people are like short, they don't look like children. I look like a child, you know what I'm saying? And I was so frail.
Yeah.
But I always had, like, I would cross adults up, but it was always a show, like when I played pickup ball. But when it got in that season, like if they let me do my thing, I'll do my thing. But a lot of times they didn't let me do my thing, but they even made me think. It made me think I wasn't that good. They made me think like the conventional game is something different. Like
Yeah.
you got to be a different
Well, you
way.
got to play within a motion offense.
Yeah, exactly. And I went to an all white, you know, high school, and like so you got that Hoosier, the Princeton offense type vibe. They didn't like it when I did a crossover. It's like, oh, what's that? But then I transferred to a private school my senior year, and I actually went crazy because the coach played college ball. He was more of a high level player. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get college offers. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna go crazy. Like second team all stay. I was 1 vote away from MVP. I'm doing 6 Iverson crossovers a game, and then like. No college offers. I tried out for 3 JUCOs. They were all passed. Like, oh, I don't think he play. It was all about defense. They're like, we don't think he could guard anybody at this level. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even blame him, though. I look so young, and I really wasn't playing no defense.
Okay, I was going to say, how were you playing defense?
I was, like, scrappy. I'll rip you if you're in front of me. But, like, at the college game, I had a little bit of, like anxiety, nervousness.
Yeah,
I didn't.
you gotta be so fast.
Unless I got off early with offense, I wasn't where I needed to be, even though I had the skills. I just didn't know. Nobody affirmed me to tell you, like, yo, you're actually super good. You just need to do X, Y, Z. Like, my JUCO did after my freshman year. I dedicated way more. I went to the gym 5 a.m. We got to make 500 jumpers before class.
Stop
2:30. 2:30's open gym. After open gym, we go lift weights, and then we come back to the gym. Like, I'd go home or go to the park after that at night, and now street ball or whatever. So I'm dedicating crazy time to the game after my freshman year, and then it didn't take long. I was like the best player in the open gym after the season. Like, I would always run the court. I couldn't wait to play the next D1 recruit they bring in to kind of like, that we're supposed to be the crash dummies. Next thing I know, the D1 coach is like, who's this, though? You know what I mean? But just so happened, Anwin was touring. I go to try out, and, you know, rest was history. So.
See, I always wondered, like, how did you hear? Because the first time, I remember what I was doing, where I was standing when I first went.
I actually do, too.
What is this?
Yeah, I went to Foot Action in Portland. There was like a mall, Lloyd Center Mall. I went to Foot Action. I got a mixtape volume 2. I tried on the shorts. And me and my homie went back and checked it out. It was like instant fandom. It was like, I'm culturing it, like, not long after that.
It's like with, it had its own cult. 100% basketball is basketball. And one brought a whole different level of, like, Will Smith versus underground rappers. I'm not trying to say Will Smith is a mainstream rapper, but he's a mainstream personality back when he was putting out music.
It was hip-hop basketball. It's hip-hop basketball. That's what it always was.
Underground.
And we used to even say it, too, like, on the tour, like, A.O. was Diddy.
I like that.
I was Eminem. Escalade was Biggie. Like, there was a lot of parallels there. But, like, honestly, it was... I don't think we even labeled it that at the time. I mean, those dudes just playing ball like they always did, and now they're just taking it on the road.
Just happened to be filming me.
So, like...
The music was such a part of it. The music was such that that just like 90s like Beat Nuts Method Man vibe of volumes 1 through 4 was like such a part of it.
Yeah, and shout out to the makers of the mixtapes. You know, Greenpoint did the DVDs. I'm trying to think who did I think it was Independent. Set Free. Shout out to Set Free.
To the music?
DJ. You know, on the first ones, you forget, Dutego wasn't there. It was the set, he's on I Am Set Free on Instagram. He was like, Set Free! You know, like, yell that. You remember that?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
He was the announcer, but he
Set it
also
off.
came with the music, and he killed it. Like, he got unreleased stuff that he could get rights to or whatever, and like, the music, I agree, the soundtracks was
curation.
fire. Because it was literally... It was a hip-hop mixtape, but on the top of b-ball. It was actually a mixtape. That's where the name comes from. It was a b-ball mixtape.
Yeah, man, we had them things on bootleg floating around earlier.
I don't even remember when I got a DVD of it. But I remember it was just a piece of paper printed right in the front at the flea market. They were like $6. And even back then, I'm like, $6. I go half on it.
I know.
So, we were talking about it. Let me just bust this out real quick. This
go.
kid right here,
go.
this young boy is who we're talking about, who they picked up on this tour. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You then went to 20-plus cities and had to fight for your spot each night in order to get this contract. Okay, 33 cities.
35-city tour, I came on the second city.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Like, you come on.
Came in the second. Jesus Christ.
I know.
That must be at first like, I made it. Also, shit.
Yeah, and like, I thought I was going, if I would have went home, it was incredible. Like, if I'd, you know, you got to think where my kid mind was. Let me tell you how kiddie I was, okay? This is so funny. They asked me to go on tour that night after that game because, like, the crowd got excited when I'd go. Even though Hostile even shook me, I touched earth, sick, but it shook me up. But, like, I got some buckets and I was going back with no fear. I've always been like that on the court. I forget everything. I just go in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the crowd liked it. I probably had, like, 6 to 8 points, couple of oops, you know, so...
Yeah. That's like 25 as a white kid
as a
out
kid.
there.
Yeah, you know, especially in AND1 days, it wasn't even about the stat. Like, if you had the stats, it, like, adds to it. But, like, really, it was just like, did you kill anyone?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, but I was the best, at least in Portland that night, right? And so they asked me to go on tour that night, but you had to do a background check. So I missed the Oakland game, I missed the LA game, but then I come on the Phoenix game. So maybe I was 32 games, a 35-city tour. And then I go back out to Phoenix, and literally, I probably played maybe 10 games, and then we get to Jackson, Mississippi, and things have been going well, right? I know in the games, it's going crazy. But I was hoping when the TV show came on that I could, like, press pause and maybe just be on there, or maybe one of my buckets would make it, because season 1 is all the team. So I'm thinking the joint's about hot sauce and AO and main event and Shane and whoever else, right? So I'm thinking same thing, right? Season 2, I can't wait. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So it comes on. I'm the whole episode, like literally 80% of the episode was my story of the tryout to the game to this is happening.
Oh, you didn't know until you watched it?
They did. I think I'm such a kid. They probably told me, but everything was so surreal and so fast. I'm so green. It probably went in this year, out the other year. And so I'm sitting in the hotel where I'm almost like anxious, like I'm like almost nervous because first time I'm hearing myself talk on video and I'm like, why do I sound like that? Like that's what I look like.
Damn, and the first time, I remember my first time, so I understand.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta get a new haircut.
Before cell phones, before all this,
my voice
like the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I was unadjusted to just everything entertainment, don't know anything about demographics, nothing. So I see that thing and literally step out of the hotel, celebrity, in the hotel, walk in the hotel room, not a celeb. The thing comes on, walk out, autographs that day.
Wow.
Like it's actually crazy, like how quick. Because I see it now all the time, right? My cousin, he's my main editor and shooter.
Nice.
Oh, so you see this.
When we go viral, he could say like if we go viral today, like real viral, not just our videos get 1 mil, but if we do one that gets like 5 in a week or something, like we'll literally walk outside that day and they'll be like, yo, I just seen they'll name the video. So it was just like that, but even more because we're on 30 to 50 times a week on, or something like that. It was crazy. It was the filler show when there was nothing on all night.
Damn, what a good time in life, that like 7-year period of MTV.
Oh, God, it's the best. I was ranting about it the whole drive up here to Cam.
Oh, you have no idea before you even thought of it.
Yeah.
So you walk in, not a celebrity, walk out. How do you adjust to this as an 18-year-old kid that is literally trying to tiptoe and walk on eggshells in this whole event?
Yeah.
You're trying to make it, and hopefully you could do this, and then you get this.
Yeah, just best I could. You know what I mean? Like one day at a time. But I'm loving it though. You know what I mean? Because I was naturally a competitor. It was like all my preparation. I worked so hard at the game, but it was like everything goes unnoticed. But then when I play pickup, I'm going crazy. I'm like, it never made sense to me. Because I play against like the varsity point guard is in my school, and I feel like in a one-on-one, they can't beat me. But like, why am I not on the? It just never made sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm like, AO. He's like, you ain't going to college? He's like, you gonna play this? You just gonna do street ball? But fam, you supposed to go play D1. And I was like, you think I'm good enough to play? He's like, yeah, but like I'm such a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody's there to affirm it. That's why you need mentors.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I like my dad affirmed it. Like my trainer who taught me the AI cross when I'm in 5th grade, he affirmed it. But I didn't believe him. They're like family, so the family always big ups you, right?
Of course. So I get it. It's almost like you needed the validation, and once you got it, like,
I am great? Oh, I am great.
outside of my circle, I'm good. All right.
Totally.
Yeah, and it still took me a year or two to like really think like, oh, this is for you, because like you don't know. I mean, that year we went to Europe. Like I got on the team and we did a European tour, like right then and there. So we go to Europe. No, the U.S. don't even know it, right? Stuff didn't air for 6 to 8 months, like on the mixtape or whatever. It was always way behind. Like the summer tour was about 3 weeks, 2 weeks delayed, something like that. So yeah, like going to Europe on the team, it was hard. I didn't even play well. Like my head's spinning. I'm like, these dudes are so fast. They're going. I don't even know how to win and entertain. I just know how to win. By default, I entertain a little bit. But, like hot sauce and AO and headaches handles crazy.
They know exactly what.
So it's like so turned up. Like I had to learn the rhythm. So I'm even unsure. I'm like, if you're going to be on the mixtape team, you got to be good global. There's a difference between good locally and good, nobody knows the levels of basketball unless you play it. So like being good globally, I had to grow into that. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Question before I forget, I wanted to ask you earlier. What part of Oregon are you from?
Oh, I'm from a small town, Kaiser, Oregon. It's an outskirt of the capital, Salem. It's called Kaiser. It's 40,000 people.
Got you. Oh, yeah, no, that's far from me.
Yeah.
In high school, I got kicked out, and I had to move to Oregon because my family lived in Oregon. But it's
drag,
in Portland. For me, it sucked at the time. But Clackamas?
It's big, yeah. I mean,
Portland,
for that area, that's like, of course you know it.
Do you know where that is?
I might have, that first mixtape I got, it was either at Clackamas Town Center or Lloyd
Clackamas
Center
Town
Mall.
Center,
It was one of those. So yeah, of course. I mean, I played JUCO. We played Clackamas Community College.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we got beat by like 50. They dunked on me,
Clackamas Community College keep trying to say I owe them 2 bands. I don't owe you nothing. All right? They keep sending me to collections. I'm like, bro, I never went to your school.
That's how they get fools.
I was in high school.
Especially now you get money on the podcast. They're like, we got
you need it. Like, no, dude, I keep getting Clackamas. community college. Like, I never went. You know, on a senior day, like, where would you like to go? And I circled it because it's one of the town.
Yeah.
I never went. They're trying to tax me $2 bands.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Here's my proof. Right? But yeah, I
I was
like to ask.
hour south.
I always like to ask, because we did a moving out there, so I went to every little city you could think of out there, Hillsborough and all these little Gresham, and just see. Like I was trying to tell them, Oregon's a different vibe.
Yeah, way different. Yeah.
Yo, you got a basement, and that cabinet in your bathroom is a room. Like, you ever been to those?
Yeah.
It's kind of.
I mean, it's country. It's like, it's funny because when we think of country, we always think of like the South or like super rural, like Idaho.
Yeah.
But it, like now moving away and not living there and go back, like it's country. Like they're very
just be forest.
narrow viewpoints. There's a different vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even my
100%.
family, right? They wouldn't say they're country, but like your country. I was too. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of mealtime while sending you pre-portioned ingredients with easy-to-cook recipes.
As you may or may not know, April is Earth Month, and HelloFresh is always committed year-round to a cleaner planet. On average, HelloFresh has a 31% less carbon footprint than average meals made from ingredients from the supermarket.
Plus, nearly all of HelloFresh packaging is recyclable right there at the curb. Help the planet while helping yourself.
Good food is too precious to waste. HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients cut down by at least 23% on waste compared to grocery shopping, which is good for your wallet and good for the earth.
So right off the bat, guys, HelloFresh has saved me time and the brain power because I am not a chef, as I once said, and I don't know recipes. So HelloFresh is coming with the ingredients, healthy ingredients, and the recipes to help you and your family just speed up the process and hang out together.
Couldn't agree more. So go to HelloFresh.com/YOLA50 and use code YOLA50 for 50% off HelloFresh plus free shipping.
HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. So right now, do us a favor. Take advantage of this deal. Right now, you can go to HelloFresh.com/YOLA50 or just type in YOLA50 at checkout, and that's going to get you 50% off your order plus free shipping.
Let's pause for a moment here to talk about something that's really been bothering me lately. Inflation. Gas, groceries, utility bills, it's everywhere. Luckily, there's one company out there that's giving you a much-needed break. It's Mint Mobile.
As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile allows you to order from home and it passes the savings on to you. Mint Mobile allows you to order from home and you save a ton with plans starting at just $15 a month.
By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings on to you.
All Mint Mobile plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data. All of this is delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can seamlessly trans over to Mint Mobile using your own phone, and you can transfer just in minutes using eSIM.
To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get your plan shipped directly to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/YOLA.
Remember, guys, go to mintmobile.com/YOLA and cut your bill down to just $15 a month. Once again, guys, thank you for supporting the brands that support us.
So how'd they feel when the tour bus pulled up and they're like, all right, I'll see you guys later? Were they like supportive?
It was insane how well my parents parented me. Like they fed my dream. They saw I loved it. They saw I was good at it. So look, I had a trainer. Shout out to my trainer, Rodney Howard. Fourth grade.
Oh.
Fourth grade, he showed me the first move was the in and out. Then it was the in and out crossover. Then it was the Iverson crossover. I pick up every move in like a week because like all I do is culture basketball. So if I did a move by end of the week, I'd get 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 reps in. Who knows, right? He showed me the AI crossover. It was like a week later, crossover adults, you know what I'm saying? But I'm 2 feet. I'm like this tall. So like my life, I do those trash talker vids I drop now. That's like my life. I always did the trash talker vid, like, you know what I mean? So they got me the trainer 4th grade. Then I'm always going to basketball camp, any clinic you can think of, Jordans, hooping in Jordans, the hottest, the Concord 11s, got the originals in 6th grade. I mean, you name it. My mom even drove like an hour and a half to an AAU practice 3 times a week just so I could be on an A. Because I didn't get picked up on the big A. There's like this other AAU team.
Your parents are supportive as hell.
They're so supportive,
sick.
man. And then even when AND1 came up, they're like, yeah, I mean, they not treating you right at that JUCO. Like, we put all this, and they're probably thinking about the investment. I never really asked them, but think about the hundreds of thousands spent on the game, and like, now you're pro? Yes, you need to go.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out later. Have a good one.
Do you have any athletes in your family?
My dad was like really, like if my dad was probably like fully committed to ball, he'd play college and who knows what. But like, nah, he just he loved the game. He played at men's leagues. He taught me how to play. We were 2 years old, had a ball in my hands. So his passion for the game wore off on
Oh
me.
yeah, you kind of grew up into this. See,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Oh, dude, having a trainer that, like I said, that kid's going. He's gonna be badass. You see these kids on like TikTok. They're doing the basketball drills, throwing the tennis balls and catching
Oh,
it. You
yeah.
see these
Yeah.
monsters. See, I wish I
know.
had something like that.
That was
as a
normal
kid.
back then.
Yeah, they had a Peyton Manning camp. Do you remember that? If you're really balling, you can go to Peyton Manning camp and they will show you how to throw a ball perfectly. I just went to college. They did the free football camp at the local,
Okay.
college.
Yeah.
And I'm a fat kid. I'm like, all right, skins and shirts. I'm like, damn.
That's
I
a
gotta
nightmare.
run around for 2 hours. Oh, damn. And I remember like, I don't like football camp. I don't know if I want to come back to this place.
It's a nightmare.
It was a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
All the linemen like, oh, shit.
But yeah, those things go a long way though, because like knowledge at a high level, if you're a kid, is priceless, right? A lot of these parents
Yes.
try to guide their kids, and like they do it out of love the best they can, but so much bad info and bad outlooks, and you're the greatest when you're not, and you work hard when you don't really like work hard like you need to play college pro. You play college ball, so you know, right? Like somebody could say, I work super hard at basketball, I love it. And it's like, well, you don't love it like Kobe loved it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't. I know you didn't play as much as I did growing up. It's impossible because your parents would be trying to get you to practice less and get on their nerves. That's what my parents. They trying to make me practice less.
Yeah,
We got beef with the neighbors. I'm up to 1 a.m. hooping every night. Like,
Yeah. You got concrete embedded into your fingertips and it won't come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's a hot one. I gotta use that. You're like, whoa, that happens?
Sock on the ground.
Yeah. So tell us now, because it's beyond just you being an internet sensation. You've developed businesses around it.
Yeah.
So what is Global Hoopers?
So Global Hooper actually started. I got the name after and when ended. I'm telling you, like it seemed weird right now, but I lived in LA. I walked around and nobody knew me. I went to UCLA game. It was crazy. So I looked at like rappers, Puff Daddy went to Diddy, and Titty Boy went to 2 Chainz. They rebrand. So I'm like, I'm gonna rebrand. So I was like, I'm the Global Hooper. So when I went on social, like with Instagram and all, I was actually Global Hooper. And I was just trying to be brand new, because like why be from something that crashed? And like I remember I dated a girl. I was dating a girl like 2012, 2011. I remember she's like, I had my YouTube channel. I had some old and1 clips on there, right? But at that time, they're 5 or 6 years old. Time goes by fast, right? You don't think it's that old. And I remember she goes, this is kind of old school, like your YouTube channel? She's like, this is old school. and like, I see where she's coming from, right? Nowadays, a kid, I mean, think about it. You 2 years out, you might be old school.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I get it, but to hear like,
Yeah, hit the ego. Hit the ego, but also instant perspective. I was like, is she weird or is that the real? So I remember I asked my mentor, is it old school? He's like, yeah, a little bit. So, oh, damn. So I was like, that rebrand made sense. But then, people connected the dots, and then like I went viral. I did a Spider-Man basketball video, like some cosplay. The first cosplay basketball video. It like segued for a lot of cosplay. It's crazy. Like my homie, shout out to Robert Monroe, he put me on. He came with that idea, showed me how to use a DSLR and all that. It's crazy, but we made that video, and then like it goes TMZ, Good Morning America, 6 million views in a week, which back then the algorithm wasn't as friendly.
Massive.
Back then if you did 1 million in a week, you was going off. So I got ESPN, CNN, TMZ, Good Morning America.
Did you have any idea it was going to do that?
He thought it was going to go viral. I was like, because it was, we come from the thug, the hip hop.
Yeah.
Everything got to be swag and one. Like you can't be a lick of uncool. You know what I'm saying? So like the Spider-Man, it was almost nerdy. I was hanging with a different crowd. You know what I mean? I was hanging with like my Christian homies. So like, I knew it was like cool, and I knew there was an audience. He showed me there was an audience for like Comic-Con. I'm like, Comic-Con? I was like, I know Spider-Man and Batman in the movies, but I don't know. Remember, this is going way back. Now it's obvious, but like, he put me on. And I was like, all right, cool. At least it'll get some laughs. If not, I got to get a little more views than a regular video because it's different. But that joint was like, I mean, it was crazy. So
kind of opened your eyes to like a whole nother lane, because like you said, I went from the superstar to walking outside, and I'm like, nobody noticed me. I'm at the what the hell? It's like you said, it's like a little.
Yeah.
Too. So now you're doing this
bad.
and rebrand your whole.
So what happened was when it hit the blogs and the big news outlets, all they were saying is the Professor, the Global Hooper wasn't mentioned, because like my YouTube channel started back in the day as Professor Live. So like YouTube was the dominant one. They're still saying Professor, and everybody's like, this is hot. So I'm like, why am I rebrand? Let's go back. So I went back to the Professor, and then Global. When I came with my clothing brand in 2017, and the name of my overall umbrella is Global Hooper. So,
Yeah, it's smart. You want it to be something outside of yourself. Like he has Push Trees, that's his brand. It's his, but it's not the professor.
right.
Same idea.
Something bigger than yourself is
other people
the
can
way
tap
you were
into.
going with it, with the clothes. Because you can't, I mean, you can call it the professor clothing, but
It's merch at that point.
Yeah, then
it's
it's
merch,
just-
which
yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with merch.
it can't go further.
Yeah, I've considered going that route too because like doing a brand is actually super hard. You need a lot of investment. You know what I mean? So like I've spent out of my own pocket quite a bit doing that, and it's been really some hot stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, but if you want to be in the culture, you need $1 million investment or more. Multi-million-dollar investment to actually be a culture. Like you want to be on StockX and known. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I see what you're
So there's
saying.
nothing wrong with merch, but like, the professor is a super merch play. So I was actually trying to make a brand. I'm like, I've been signed to I was signed to like 4 deals. So like, might as well do my own now. But
I love the logo so much. It's like an homage to N1, but it's you. It's so clean.
Thanks.
Was there a lot? I'm sure there was a ton of back and forth about that.
yeah, I questioned it a few times too. I'm like, is it too similar to And1? But like, if you compare them, they're really not similar.
Yeah.
But like, since it's a crossover man and it's not Jordan, it's like, well,
Yeah.
who was the only other man ever like, in that day? Now they're billion logos of the
Yeah,
band, right?
no, I get it.
It was Shaq, Jordan, and And1 had the dribble man with the swoosh that went over the And1.
Yep.
But I like that swoop. It's like, how do you show a crossover? You have to
Yeah,
show it's a
gotta show
cross.
motion.
It's like the swoosh. But I was just like, this is the one when I seen it. It's a fire. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Love that. And now you just parlayed that into your own online course too, right?
I'm trying to come with the online course soon. I don't have a course right now, but I'm working on it.
The dribbling class that you have?
Oh, I had it. 2015, I had was superhuman dribbling. Like we try to capitalize off Spider-Man. Because Spiders do like every vid's doing 9-10 million. That one did 25 million. So we were trying to capitalize. So superhuman was the closest you can go to superhero or Spider-Man. So superhuman dribbling.
I was thinking about crossover 5.
Okay, so crossover 5 is just we're gathering leads to launch.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh,
so if
so
you
it's upcoming.
sign up on crossover 5, crossover spelled out the number 5.com, you get a free 5 steps to the perfect crossover, and then you'll be entered to know when I do drop. Then you'll be the first to know it. So.
It's surprising how much that shit really works and helps. I had a kickflip with Tony Hawk. I was 7. We had him on the show. It's
hard.
Hey, I bought you how to do a kickflip, Tony. You know what I mean? Like, it's those things that you remember. Right now, we talk about what's the first time you saw it. It kind of hits you with that.
Yeah.
You'll remember forever. It's like YouTube is how-to. Imagine having a tangible how-to.
Yeah,
That's
of
what
course.
Tony Hawk's how to kickflip was, how to do an ollie, how to do a shove it. I think, dude, right now, if you have that, and Cam ain't never gonna forget that in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
it's like instilled in your brain for life.
Have you
I like
must
this
have-
organic plug, by the way, man. Sign up, crossover5.com. You'll get a free video, 5 steps of perfect crossover, and we're dropping this year at some point. So yeah.
Are you using Patreon in the same way too to kind of like teach skills, or is that not really what that's
No,
about?
it's more like a content incentive. It's funny, we just launched. I'm actually debating just going to YouTube because it's already built in. It's hard to get people to get off that platform. And I
Yeah.
felt like Patreon was a lot of comedians and podcasters.
Yeah.
You guys do Patreon?
We
Yeah,
did
we
it
used
once,
to.
and we're like, let's go back to YouTube.
Yeah, it was too
So
much.
you
to
have the
manage.
YouTube membership. You have
Yeah.
YouTube membership?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
we got less than 100 people you can reimburse. You know what I'm saying? We might switch. So
Yeah, and
Trying to figure it
sometimes
out.
it's like
It's a lot of
the
extra work.
content just brings in more eyeballs, which in turn might get AdSense, might get because you're fully monetized. I'm assuming
on what?
YouTube.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We was
okay,
on
cool.
top 09. yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're struggling over here. We can't YouTube because we're explicit. We're mad
Yeah, it's
explicit,
hard.
so-
A lot of censorship laws. I think for me doing that, for me it's kind of like rooted in my Christian faith. I try to keep everything. If it's Christ friendly, it's gonna be family friendly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then it just happens to be advertiser friendly. So,
Yeah,
so I like that.
Just happens. I like that smile.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean you want it cool, right? We good amount of ours. The person talking trash and so many f bombs, it's no longer So
Yeah.
with no monetization. Now we know the workarounds and it's good now. But so I feel you. It's easy to get caught up though. Someone get caught up and I still don't have the answer. I'm like, why?
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what
So
I'm
it's
saying?
not just us. You feel it too.
Everybody's confused on a lot of levels. Unless you have a YouTube rep, you can get some answers. But even then, they're outsourced. So I've had 3 reps. I don't have one now. They're probably over me. I didn't take any advice. So if I had one now, I would though.
No, I
I think
get
at
it,
the
I get
time
it.
we were smashing it. But now the algorithm changed so much. It's a lot
Yeah.
more difficult now. We still do
hard.
numbers, but not. There was a season where I didn't do less than 2 or 3 mil. That went on for a few years. Now we feel like we had a mill, but it's like a slow growth to a mill. It might take 2 months to get to a mill. It's a trip.
It's
and
weird.
then some go off, but like
But then
it's different.
It's for everyone though.
consistent.
I want to rep.
I noticed the dip on everyone's views
Everything,
right now.
and I think it has to do with like there's no. You wish you knew the reasons, right? But I think you could say the economy's lower. It's probably less advertiser. They get money off these memberships. But I think that's why people got to go. You got to get off the AdSense way. Like, AdSense is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's been great for us. But you got to need your own online community that's paying per month so you have a more consistent idea of what you're going to make.
So you're not
'Cause,
relying on YouTube so much.
We got in a few scares. I reinvested a lot in my business all the time. A few, just keeping it real, like, despite making 7 figures, like sometimes you get just scared because that bill spend a little crazy, and then the AdSense it's a roller coaster. You know what I mean? Like 1 month for months you might make over 6 figures, and you're like, nah, we Gucci. This is crazy. But then you that tax return, that tax come back.
Yeah.
We have a 10,000 square foot space with a studio half court. I got employees. It's not cheap. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's your guys' actual space that you showed?
The layer 12, yeah, Global Hoover layer 12.
Oh, that's you guys. I
I
thought
didn't
you guys
realize
were
that.
just coming to
Yeah, you got to come check it. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
because when I
that's
see
how
it,
you shoot so much content because it's your spot.
Yeah, I mean,
you pump it out,
We
dude. We
like
talked
on
about
site. On site's better because then you get audience, people, trash. You know what I'm saying? That's always gonna be our bread and butter. But if we're gonna do a collab, if I'm gonna break down a move, the beginning of videos, it's the dope. It's our offices too. It's not just the court. So like,
yeah. So that's what before we moved in here, we had a warehouse. Like, oh, this space is where we do. Because on the other end, I do a lot of the weed YouTube section. So that's what I do besides the podcast. And we had that, like, this is a podcast where we talk about stuff we're trying to get demonetized. Step into that room, say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then over there's our clothing in the warehouse. So it's like sections trying to repurpose, but all under the same, like, ecosystem, correct?
it's dope. Yeah.
Right? That's that's essentially what you guys' place is, right?
exactly
Yeah,
Exactly.
100%. It's own business.
Exactly.
It's rentals too. You can rent it. It was a little pricey, but we got rentals for that. But yeah, I feel you. The AdSense, it's always a little
That's
tricky.
hard,
You know what I
man.
mean? Like how often a video get hemmed up? You're like, what? Yeah, that's like every month. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
did
not
one.
cool to rely on.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to rely on. That's why branching out, doing your own this, doing your own that, own businesses. A question before I forget: you were playing basketball with Woody Harrelson randomly. Is this a White Men Can't Jump 2 thing? Are you guys
No, it wasn't
advertising
random.
it? It wasn't random.
No, it was a campaign. Well, it was first off, it was awesome. Big shouts out to Woody. He's like a homie. I met him 20 years ago. I'm actually in the movie Semi-Pro. A lot of people don't know that.
Wait, stop. What part?
You wouldn't know. So we're actually doing it. It's funny. I don't even know why we're talking about this.
I know what you're talking about, Semi-Pro.
I'm actually making a video of my secret role in a Will Ferrell movie.
I'm scanning.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you would have to watch, you'd have to dissect the movie close, but I actually have like a minute of screen time. You just wouldn't know it's me because I got a 70s wig on. I boxed out Will for the game-winning shot. I boxed him out.
I don't feel as dumb right now.
No.
So you were dressed differently.
Yeah.
I would remember this.
Like Andre 3000 leaves our team to go to the other team, and when he walks away, it's my shot right there. I'm like, oh, that's
that's
whack.
so
Come on.
sick.
But like nobody knew because it's like on the mainstream. Like I just started social. It's too you can't get messages out like that. So.
well, not even that. Like, I'll be like, oh, in the background of Liar Liar for 4 seconds, there's Will Arnett. Like, me, I'll text you, like, hey, did you see this? So I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I
it's a
didn't
premium
see it,
extra.
bro.
Like there's an extra role who, like you said, it's the background. You pause, you
Yeah.
can see yourself. That's called extra. It was I had a premium extra where you're actually like heavy in the scene, heavy FaceTime,
Yeah.
but you don't actually say a line.
I'm just saying, I'm surprised I missed it. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, so like Woody, we met, and then fast forward, we hadn't seen each other since then. We were trying to get up back in the day to ball. Dude loves the ball. He's super cool, but this was a campaign for his new movie, Champions. It's in theaters right now, but he has a basketball movie, and so like, they just pitched it, and they were like, hey, do you want to do... I get deals all the time that are kind of like weird and don't fit, especially as like advertisement of a movie. But this one, he's like,
Actually
hey,
works.
Woody has a basketball movie. He's thinking about doing a collab with you. Do you want to... I'm like, absolutely. It's for what? I don't care. Like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. So we're advertising this movie. It's a YouTube vid. I think you probably saw the Instagram little snippets
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
saw it.
But I got to show him moves, and he's like, oh, I remember you from back in the day. That's crazy. Like, he was showing a lot of love. It was dope.
That's legendary. That's so
Yeah, because we were just talking about this White Man Can't Jump 2's coming out. And that's why I'm like,
Oh, it was crazy.
Is that why this is happening? Because I figure like, basketball. But he's got 2 basketball movies coming out.
No, I don't even know if he's in it, though. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I didn't even
he
ask
might
him.
just be like directing.
Got you.
I wasn't actually allowed. I was only allowed one question outside of the movie.
Are you messing with me or no?
No, I mean his PR.
Oh.
He was actually cool. I think I could have asked him anything, and we strayed a little bit. I had to bring it back to the movie.
Wait, you're talking about on film? You were only allowed?
Yeah, so like.
I thought you meant like in person, like you can only ask me one thing.
Well, no, they were. I mean, I only saw him on camera. If we were cut, it was for like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So like, he came, we filmed it, he left. You know, he's busy. He's doing a whole press run for.
I totally understand.
In Beverly Hills, in some rented house. You know what I'm saying? But so I was only allowed one question away from the movie. And I just asked him if he had memorable moments from any of his basketball movies. White Man Can't Jump, Champion, Semi-Pro. And he had this dope story from White Man Can't Jump. So that was really cool. But yeah, it's funny. We should have had the convo. Even my cousin, he was like, you didn't even say, like, you're the White Man Can't Jump in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you didn't even discuss it. I was like, yeah, I didn't know how to say it. I mean, what am I going to say? I'm the real you.
Yeah, for real.
No, that's insane. We got to get to a level one day. We go, hey, when these guys get here, tell them they got a question and a half. All right, that's all they can say.
That's hilarious.
Right, it's got to be about toys or
They don't want
cartoons.
people just like.
You know what it is, though? Like, you can make somebody look bad real easy, right? You say one thing that's a little off kilter, and next thing you know, the whole narrative of that shoot was about that one thing. It's not even about the movie anymore. So I get the sensitivity. I think there's balance, though. I think they tried to button it up super tight.
Yeah.
When we got there, Woody was super cool. I think I could have asked him. I could have asked him anything, but
That's
you know,
wild. What
he
a
knew
team.
it was about champions.
What a team to have.
Yeah, for real. That's
Damn,
a tight ship.
Yeah, it's buttoned up, dude.
Especially at an A-list level, though. Think about it, like.
Yeah, he's been famous for 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, and there's levels, right? Like at one point he was an A+ star. He's probably like A or B now. Like look at Adam Sandler, he's an A+ superstar. So anything you do is under the microscope. Like for me, I could come out on a video saying I'm dating. I did it. I did like a date video. Don't nobody care. Like, nobody cares. It wasn't even a story. People actually probably didn't even believe I was dating. You know, whatever. Like it's just, it's not. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a rat's A because I'm not like a A-list celebrity. So so you gotta be protective. You know. Like yeah.
No, you got to play with Adam Sandler's his favorite person on earth.
Oh really?
True statement.
He's a great guy. Like,
story.
You got to play with him too, right?
oh, dude. Yeah, and he's like a huge fan of mine. I was like, what?
He's into basketball heavy, man.
Yeah,
and I think
like-
you have to respect fools that are good at basketball.
Yeah, he's such a great guy though. Like I didn't even know this. You know, like I see his movie. Like you know, I think everybody's seen more than half of his movies, right? If not,
I think so. Every American, at least, man.
I've definitely seen over 50%. I'm not gonna say I saw them all, but I've seen over 50%. And then when I met him, I went back, probably watched them all. But yeah, it hits me up out of the blue. Actually, sorry, we had a mutual friend. This one guy, shout out to Joe Vesey. He was like an And1 supporter back in the day, and we just go way back. We always stayed up, but he hit me one day on Facebook Messenger like, "Yo, you around this afternoon?" I was like, "Oh, it was good." He's like, "Adam wants to talk to you," and I was like, "Who the hell's Adam?" You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Adam Sandler," and I was like, "The Adam Sandler wants to talk?" He's like, "Yeah, you around at 2?" And I'm like, well, so I go to dude's page and said he worked for Happy Madison. And we this dude was good at Joe was like real talented, so he could work for him, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, let's get it. So I'm thinking like it's Rep gonna call me or it'll be something weird, right? I mean, there's no way he's gonna hit me, but sure enough, the ID, Adam Sandler. He picked up, talked for like an hour.
About basketball?
Everything.
Okay, I was like, damn,
I mean,
an hour?
moving to LA and one. Basketball, he said he said there's not one YouTube video he missed.
Nice.
He's like, I watch him late at night when I'm bored, man, and go and then he tells me about Hustle. He's like, I'm doing this basketball movie in a year or two, and love to write you a part. And I'm just like, what? Hey, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking he's actually just being nice. Like maybe he was a supporter. He just wanted to touch base. The movie was like flow. You know, a lot of people in Hollywood do that, right? A lot of empty promises or whatever. But I didn't even care. I was like, the phone call was great. Like, you're dope. Wow. So yeah, sure enough, fast forward a year and a half, 2 years or whatever, they hit me. It's like, you want this role or whatever? Oh, of course.
It's a scene in New York, correct? That was
Philly.
filmed in New York? It was Philly?
Yeah, it's Philly. It's like,
Oh.
there's a dope-ass court in Philly right across from the cheesesteak spot.
It's like
Pat
right
and
on the
Gino's.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, because I was in New York, I'm like, is this the same spot? Remember I told you there was like a game and there was 30 fools standing outside like a cage in New York watching the street. It reminded me of some man one
It was
shit.
probably 4th Street.
I don't know, but I was in
West
New York
4th?
just randomly walking.
I remember
and
that.
there was a good 100 people outside, man, watching this game. There was a scoreboard.
I mean, that's a lot of corners in New York. I mean, street ball's culture in New York. That's why it started there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but he's played there. Like I'm from mid-central California.
Right. They all look
It's
the
just
same, though.
hot and there's a few basketball players. Like that's it. Like,
Yeah.
where you guys are from, the East Coast, or where you grew up traveling, I never seen street ball like that in my life. Nobody could dunk.
No.
Hell, nobody's gonna dunk in
That's
my
how I am.
town.
Small town. Yeah, we had one dude. We had like
One guy
one
that could
dude in my
dunk?
high school dude who dunk. He was
yeah.
like the man just because he
Yeah,
dunked
yeah.
once. Like he was like a whack
Junk
dunk.
once.
But you know but that was and one, right? And one was they introduced street ball to the world because
Yeah.
it was Chicago, New York, DC, maybe a little in Miami and Atlanta, not much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
street ball wasn't really out there like that. So
So, question, because we've talked about this before. I told you, I just study and one and dribble my ass off, and as soon as I shake somebody, I'll pass it. You score. Don't make me look stupid, fool. I just did all that. You better score. That was my plan. Like, make someone do this, and I go, oh yeah, I'm passing. So I've gotten elbowed. I've gotten near fights because I'm the short fat kid. And you get shook by the short fat kid, you feel stupid, right?
that's lit though,
Right?
man.
But you get shook by the small white kid, you're like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
I've gotten mad elbows, so many fights, so many random things.
Yeah.
How have you controlled this in your life? Because I know you shake one fool that has a very bad ego, and it is a full-on fist fight,
Yeah.
dodge. You better duck immediately and swing because
The art to embarrassing somebody.
it's an art. Getting someone 1-2 heels, like it is the old. You might as well just went. That's the equivalent. I feel like some people. So, how have you dodged this? Do you have any stories of this the first time, and or how do you deal with this, man? 'Cause
Yeah,
you're the
like,
youngest.
Yeah, no. Well, first off, more than half the games maybe 80% of the games we play, we get in some sort of a fight, like a verbal altercation. You know, it's just
Gotta happen.
because it's street ball, you got no ref, right? And I'm a featherweight, so the hardest thing is like everybody's just they're grabbing. You know what I'm saying? When you go by, and that's hard to deal with, but like you know, you figure it out. But so we gonna get in a verbal thing over that. I got to make a big deal out of it. There's no ref, so I don't say nothing. They just gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that whole thing. But then, you know, I think like a lot of it is if you give respect, you tend to get respect. So I try to approach that park out of love, try to big up everybody, you know, and do what I do. It doesn't always go.
Your slight smile
Great.
tells me like, I mean, I've shook some fools into fights.
Yeah, so well one in particular was number one on ESPN. It was like 2014 or 2015. We played a team in the CBA. You know, that's like China's NBA, right? When an NBA player goes play in China, they play in the CBA. Okay. So we played a real CBA game, a pre-season. We're just like, it was with Ball Up. It was kind of like an attempt at the second coming of An1, but like nobody knew Ball Up. So like in China, they just thought they were playing an exhibition U.S. team, right? But we were under real rules. So play a CBA game. But the way I play street ball, I've like, some people say I carry, like I don't really care. If I have carries, they're like arguable carries, right? Might have one or two moves of blatant carry, right? One or two, but like.
A little pause.
Yeah, but I keep it legal. I played in the CBA game, get called for no carries, you know what I'm saying? But I was all street ball, so I came down and shook a dude. He slipped, like did the splits and touched earth. Crowd lost it, right? Before that, I got in a couple buckets. And mind you, again, I look like an underdog, right? Dude's 6'4". I'm my height, so I'm 5'10". So all the momentum was on our side. And when he fell, it was over. Like now their home crowd rooting for us. So he's pissed, right? Then and mind you, they don't speak English. They don't know An1. They don't know street ball. Dude's 22. He don't know none, right? So I came down the next play, and I was like, I'm a really saucy now. I had the triple threat. I threw it off dude's face, right? I was trying to go heezy to legs, right? But like a tap, you know, because if you do the heezy right, it doesn't hurt.
It's innocent.
Yeah, you're supposed to do it like this close. You know what I'm saying? You tap, they're gonna be pissed off. That's when you go legs. You know what I'm saying?
Combo.
So I did it. He moved his head. I'm like, who moves their head? Usually you swing at it or like, you know what I'm saying?
He dodged it.
He did like this. So it hit the side of his head, and then I wasn't smooth. I'm like fumbling to get it back. But I think he thought like I just disrespected him, so he got pissed. He grabbed me and he threw me 5 feet or 6 feet, like picked me up and threw me. He wanted to like do something worse, but I'm sure second thoughts came in. So both benches cleared. Oh. It went crazy. I didn't even upload on YouTube for another year because I just got the footage late. Like somehow that footage got leaked on a Chinese, like one of their versions of YouTube or something like that. So I found some ripping software to rip it, got it, re-edited ours. Because you can't speak Chinese, you can't get clearance on that. Like, screw it, we'll figure it out later. You didn't clear it with me. So I uploaded on YouTube a year later. #1 on ESPN that night.
Oh no.
But it was awesome. But I knew the fight after the Heezy is going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's still on my YouTube channel. I got like 10 million views or something.
We talked about this recently. The off the face is a very thin line of like, is this gonna be a fight?
Yeah, you normally gotta be friends with the dude.
Yeah, maybe if I know you.
Well, you gotta pick and choose your battles, and then you gotta like do it right too. Like I've done it wrong. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I did it wrong, like luckily it was a huge audience in there. So if you gonna fight, clearing the, like I said, clearing the benches or whatever. But I don't always do it like. There's the polite one. That's the one I show Woody. I say, you could roll off the Heezy, you know what I'm saying? Because if not, he gonna try it the first time and smack somebody in the face.
Break somebody's nose.
Exactly. I don't want to be accountable. So yeah, you gotta pick and choose your battles. And then honestly, like I said, if you go in there and give them respect, and then like now when we shoot, we got 3 angles, 3 security guards. There's a whole crew. So like you stepped in there, you know what we're trying to do. So
no, I get it. I'm just like referring to.
Back in the day, it's way worse.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had some Heezys that got real. Because you're a high school kid, you can't discern like when is a good time, when's a bad time. You know?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Off the foot, that's a little less.
The foot, that's a hard one. I don't even do that
it's
today.
Always so, unless you have Converse.
A lot of room for error. Yeah.
The hardest one's got to be where you're dribbling and you throw it up over your head and pretend like you're still dribbling. You got eye contact and they don't realize it's up over their head now.
You know, I'll be honest, I did it a couple times, but I never mastered that. That was hot sauce.
Yeah.
That was hot sauce genius. There were certain moves back in the day were so signature to players. You just let them, like that's their thing. But that's why sometimes there's a false narrative like I stole and one player, like whether it's hot sauce or somebody back in the day, I stole their style. But it's like in that era, every single player guard on the team did off the Heezy, off the backboard, between the legs.
Sham God.
The spins, you know what I'm saying? There was like a core of a lot of moves. But that one in particular, I think none of us could do it. Like maybe now, I actually want to bring it back. But like I never mastered that joint. That was crazy. Yeah.
Nah. What? Now, to switch it up here, just because I got to know.
Yeah.
From back then when you first go on tour up through now, what are you listening to music-wise?
Oh, music-wise? It's funny because now I'm like an OG. Like if you ask me like what came out this month, I have no clue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I have no clue.
Same with him.
So like if I listen to music, it'll be from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. And then like obviously sprinkled in, you know, just Drake or Lil Wayne or Jay-Z drop something. You know what I mean? Like, Lil Baby's the hottest in the game, so you're going to hear that. But, like, if I personally get motivated, I might listen to Michael Jackson. Like, I'm like old school, you know what I mean? Or, like, I try to listen to something that's a little cleaner, too, because, like, you get older, I'm not even on that wave, the same wave you were when you were young. So, like, hardcore rap, sometimes it might get me hyped or motivated before a sporting event, but I don't always want to hear it. So it might be, like, some R&B, something like that.
Yeah.
Just depends. Like some Christian artists like Lecrae. So it just depends.
Are you super religious, like very Christian? Because I keep hearing it, because I heard you say A instead of S. I'm like, oh, maybe you might be religious, because I didn't even ask.
Yeah.
You don't smoke at all.
No, I never smoked in my life, no. Funny enough, yeah.
Damn, out of all your tours and all your playground.
Where's that the documentary of your life?
Bro.
Where this fool's just
on the way,
clean,
bro.
just like...
No, but see, I came to faith in 2011, though. Actually, at Escalade's funeral, believe it or not.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm Christian, but like when you say it, I think you have an outside viewpoint. I don't think there's levels of religion.
Well, my fiance...
I know what you mean, though.
Her both sides' grandparents are pastors. She grew up next door to the church. She wasn't allowed to watch Simpsons until we started dating, type of thing. So she's when I say, "Oh, you're very religious," but yeah, they are very religious. There's 6 days a week at church, like so.
That's
so when I hear
intense.
that, I'm like, "Oh my God, people grow up like this."
Yeah. That's intense. Because I mean, for me, it's like it's just. This is life. Like, it's not even about going to church a number. You know, you have a relationship with, like, Christian faith really believes the Bible is 100% the word. You can have a real relationship with God. I'm sold out. I believe it. You know what I mean? But it's more about, like, it's relational. You want to be obedient to honor God. So, like, as far as the levels, we all are horrible. We fall super short. But, you know, I'm making strives to be Christ-like. You know what I'm saying? But, like, as far as, like, on the super... It's hard when you're raised in it because your parents got rules based on so it's like you're forced. It's hard to truly find God like that. The pastor's kid, that's a tough one because like you're gonna know it all, but it's like forced on you. Like me, I don't know nothing about Christianity. I mean, I think my parents would they identify as Christian, you know what I mean? And we had a good upbringing. They put me in Christian preschool, Christian senior year at a private school. But like, I didn't know nothing about Christ for real, other than a prayer before dinner. You know what I mean? So like finding it in my adult life, it's so much more clear than that pastor's or that like I said, the granddaughter of the
Yeah, it's a choice you're
Christians.
supposed to make later in life once you understand.
Yeah, well, even though it's more real too. Not that it can't be real if you're a youth. So I know some people who came to Christ and they're in high school. They're 50 years old now, and it worked. But that's more rare though. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to own it in your adult age to make a conscious decision to say I'm serious. It wasn't just my family, right? A lot of people are just they're in the faith by affiliation of family, which biblically that ain't even true faith. You know what I'm saying? Like. If you don't like,
You didn't choose this.
ask for forgiveness of Christ and proclaim His Savior and really like live that life, then it's not biblically you're not actually Christian. So think about it. How much can you do if you're just doing it? Well, mom's Christian. It's like it ain't even rooted in truth. It's rooted in mom said or dad's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it's
I
different.
get that.
Yeah. That's how I view it though.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody have that kind of story around religion.
Yeah, and I think a lot of, and it's like if you were in the Christian, it's 101, but like a lot of people are scared, you know what I'm saying? They're scared of the rejection that it comes with, or like, a lot of people are just scared to be themselves in general. Forget the faith, right? People put a front all the time. So I think people aren't as bold. They don't really say their beliefs. And there's so many misunderstandings, right? Like when he, like an outsider viewpoint, you say, it's like, I get it because I was on that. You know what I'm saying? I viewed it like that too. I thought like, well, Jesus like Santa, right? Like, no, I remember my senior year in high school. I remember I asked a dude, and he came from a Christian upbringing, and we were at a Bible class, and I was like, is Jesus actually real? You know what I'm saying? I asked him, and he goes, I think so. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I guess it works for some folks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was as much as I ever really thought into it at that time, you know?
Okay. So yeah, that was the thing. Like, wow, that bus must have been wild as hell.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't Christian. No. It was after and one. So no,
I'm saying for not smoking.
I didn't do drugs. I was scared of it. You know what I'm saying? My parents were like, don't do drugs. You'll end up.
Your parents did the right thing.
My parents were amazing. Yeah, it's crazy.
like,
The
you
peer
know what?
pressure had to be off the chain.
Yeah, it was. And I succumbed to it, though. That's the thing. I wasn't like wholly on the tour. You know what I'm saying? We had mad shit. I had 2-3 girlfriends in every city and every nation and every.
You were going crazy. I already know.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, we went crazy.
Well, that's what we always thought of. Like,
I drank. You know what I'm saying?
you must be loving life.
Did you feel, because like when I was a freshman, I knew I was the bottom man on the totem pole. I was the frailest, I was the shortest, I was the youngest. Did you feel like after like a short amount of time you were walking around with their respect, or were you always like, I'm the guy that got picked up on tour, they're the originals, like I'm the young kid? Did it feel like one?
Yeah, I think like a combination of both. Like Hot Sauce is 10 years older than I am. You know, Main Event is even more than 10 years older than I. So like Half Man was in his mid 30s when I was 18. So I felt like I was a kid with adults.
Yeah.
But it was cool because like Escalade was like my mentor. He took me under his wing, and I think he was 5 years older or something like that. You know what I mean? But he took me under his wing, later just became my friend. So I think it started off, I felt like a kid with adults. I think over time I earned their respect, and then we felt like peers and like friends. And so it's like I got the respect, but I always did feel like I was with older kids. I go hang out with my kids that, that I grew up with, and they seem young because it's like I'm with adults.
Yeah. Like, you don't have a car payment full?
Full timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
You go on 18, it's like that whole, like Michael Jackson, right? He always felt like he never got a childhood. I don't feel that way because I got, I was 18, but like at the same time, it's you're thwarted into adulthood a lot quicker. And honestly, influence for the word, like I said, we had the girlfriends, we party crazy. The tour was a movie. It was, it was top of the culture, A-list.
I'm so happy to hear it's everything I thought it
Yeah.
was. As a kid, like, man, I hope that bus is nuts when those cameras go. Like, I hope it's the shit.
A lot of learning lessons, though, too. It's like, because even in the faith, you could say, like, some people outsider might be like, do you regret the get down? It's like, yeah, you could have went about things. It was pretty reckless, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking on several kids, right? We could have done it a lot better. But you got to learn, too. Sometimes you got to have a rough pass so you can, like, tighten up and learn life for the. So I learned a lot. You know what I mean? So I think it was great.
What was the night like after the MSG shot? For our fans that don't know, when you come down and seal Madison Square Garden, mecca of all basketball, come down, game winner, half court, all the confidence in the world, place goes crazy. What's that night like?
Not what so like in 03, I was trying out, like I didn't even hang with the players. Maybe I hung with Hot Sauce a little bit, got some combos with Escalade here. AO just want to clown, he's clowning me all day, headache and them clowning, you know what I mean? They're making me do the rookie stuff. So, what is that? I probably go grab a bite, go to my hotel room, start calling my family. I don't think I even hung out, none. We in New York, I stayed somewhere in Manhattan, just calling the homies, like.
Was that like, that had to feel special, like, that had to be just like a special moment in your career. Would you say, does that like stand out as the top of the top?
Yeah, top 3, top 5, something like that, for sure. Because that's what won me the contract. I mean, I think I had to play good the next 3 games to win the contract, next 2 games. I think we went to Philly, and then we did it in the hood in Linden. That's where I got my contract. But that kind of like solidified it. But even if I didn't win the contract, I never thought I was supposed to win the contract. I actually felt like I didn't deserve it. Because like Helicopter and Spider, 2 of the best athletes I've still ever seen to this day. I mean, this dude, Spider was like shorter than me. He's like a half inch shorter than me. But I mean, windmill, any dunk you ever seen, he can do it.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy what an athlete, they don't even need to warm up. And then we play in the open run. This dude, he had like 12 dunks at 5'9". He had 12 dunks. I didn't even know God made people that. I had to like look at the hoop myself and be like, am I looking at this wrong? Maybe I can bang it, you know? So, and then Helicopter, like arguably a better dunker than him. Like, he was 6'1".
Real power dunker, yeah.
So did I think I deserved the contract? Like now looking back on it, like I think my impact was greater, but they were actually better players. They're better players, you know. Like if I run ones, I'm getting beat.
Yeah,
like, it's not even a debate. I might get a game, but not even. It would have been tough. So, but I think like I had a good all-around game, right? We had the lobs, we could shoot, you know,
and you're bringing people in there.
It's ankles too.
Yeah.
Ankles is more marketable than dunks.
Yeah.
I think it always has.
Because it was all about the highlight reel, really. I mean,
Yeah, what sold and one was like Skip and Hot Sauce and AO. You know, when Volume 3 came and the dunks are forever marketable, but the moves is like more marketable. So I think that way in. Obviously, I was white, super underdog.
And you look like a child.
Yeah,
man.
but like if they gave it to Spider or Helicopter,
you wouldn't have been mad at it.
Respect, man. This was incredible. I lived my dream.
Yeah.
My dream would look if I would have went home after 3 cities, got a couple moves and buckets.
so sick.
Still stoked.
Maybe 1 city.
Yeah, you got on. Yeah, really.
It was like the year before that. People don't even know this. I actually played against San Juan the year before. They had open runs, but they didn't do They didn't do an on the bus contest. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It was just to get people to play them. So I tried out. I played against Sick with it. You know what I'm saying? I only got 1 move off the whole night.
Before?
Yeah, the year before. So and I was superstar for a year just off that. So like you gotta think. I never thought.
Oh, you had some confidence.
Well, yeah, I was confident. Like when I played, I forget about everything. I just zone out. I don't have no expectations. But I know like Helicopter and Spider, like we're winning this. I've already played in games. Already know. They already knew the players. Helicopter's kind of out of nowhere. He played D1. He won the dunk contest in the D1. Spider played on a whole tour with Hot Sauce and Mark Edwards' his manager. Later was my manager, but they had familiarity. They're there to win. I was there. I'm like. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here, bro. Like, is it okay? Is it okay if I'm here?
Good? I'm good here.
Can I sit down right here?
The dude's special. Like the athleticism,
Well,
special.
I got a question for you about that. Have you ever in your career seen a 36-year-old flat-footed white dude go from not being able to jump to jump training himself into being able to dunk?
Oh, you just described
Do
yourself.
you think this is possible?
Well, you already played ball.
Yeah. I'm training to run a marathon right now. Once I get past the marathon, I wanna be like in 6 months, I'm gonna do this jump training program. It claims that it can.
I think it comes down to like, so if you jump and you try to touch the rim, how close are you?
Pretty far.
Like, can you touch the bottom of the net?
Oh yeah, I'm all up in the
Pretty
net.
far.
Okay, so you're you're about 6 inches away.
You get it?
I think it'll be hard. I think you definitely can improve your vertical. You can forever improve your vertical. It's just like the older you get, the more maintenance you have to have. And it's not just hit the weight. There's so much more to it, right? It's like you need functional movement training. You need to open your hips up with mad stretching. You need therapy. If you had past injuries, you gotta get rid of some scar tissue. So it's kind of a lot to it. But could you see, here's the thing. If you're 6 inches from the rim, you need 9
Another
inches.
6,
You need 10 to dunk.
Yeah.
So like, cause you gotta get your hand. You can't dunk right here. Like I remember for a long time, I get here on the rim. It wasn't until I got here I could actually dunk. And that's only the palm of the ball. On the one, I dunked a couple.
Dunked?
In later years, I'd like the white guy.
But
dunked.
they weren't from have cores where you're thinking,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Space Jam dunks? Like, you could dunk? They were the come up and...
Yeah, dunk it.
I think
One
everybody's body is different too. Like if you're overweight, who knows? That might be a game
Yeah.
changer. Shed that
Oh,
weight,
for sure.
you might be jumping just off that, and
Yeah,
then
totally.
you got to gain the muscle in your legs. So it's not impossible, but it's
Yeah.
like
way you
hard.
broke
though.
it
If you
down.
told me you were touching the rim, I'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
got to be disciplined.
No, I'm not touching the rim. I got discipline now.
Did you hear that breakdown, though? Did you hear the breakdown?
Yeah.
The older you get, the more maintenance, scar
Yeah,
tissue.
no.
But I would be like,
Say
yo, get
there's a chance.
those jumper shoes.
Uh-huh.
Remember that when we were younger?
It's not bad. Yeah, that's
You remember those?
that's when they thought that was
That shit
based off
was-
the theory that it all came from your calf.
Calf.
The jumping,
Yeah.
but the jumping comes from your core. You know, like
Jumping comes from your core. Oh,
jumping
I
is
see what
your
you're saying.
core. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the highest jumpers ever got no calf, no they're just they're slender like me, but they're like super yoked out. Their core is crazy naturally
Gotcha.
hard,
Never
and
thought
then there's
about
not an inch of fat, and then their muscles are dense, so they just got ultra spur.
See, that's why I can't do backflips, man. See, where's my core?
Yeah, it's not your fault, man. You know what I'm saying? Strengthen that core, you good.
Watch me just stay fat, just get abs. I could do flips.
Yeah, mine was the dunk. His was the backflip off the porch over
Be able to
here.
do a
We
backflip
went
one
over
day,
this
man.
last
We'll
time.
see. We'll get it there.
Flip is different, yeah. Like
I'm gonna land like Terminator.
helicopter, you can just do a backflip for no reason. Spider too. They just, backflipping is just part of their childhood.
Yeah.
I never could do that.
We asked Matt Barnes when he was here. This was kind of shocking to us. We kind of touched on this a little bit. How many amazing basketball movies there are. We want to see if I can
Yeah.
rattle off a couple and see if we can get some of your favorites here.
Sure.
He Got Game, Loving Basketball, Above the Rim, Basketball Diaries, Coach Carter, White Man Can't Jump, Six Man, Space Jam, Celtic Pride, Hoosiers, Hoop Dreams.
Space Jam 1.
So many classic
I
movies.
love them. You know, but you said there's a lot of great. I feel like they're all very nostalgic, and we love them for that. I don't think there's a lot of great. Personally, I don't think there's a lot of great movies.
Damn, you kind of said that really well. Shit.
It's all good.
As you
the
would say.
nostalgia.
I
Yeah,
guess.
it is.
I'm trying to
I still
justify-
love them though. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
If
It
you had-
is the nostalgia
if you
that
had
makes
to
you
pick
think
one,
they're
though.
great.
For me, it's He Got Game, followed by Loving Basketball, probably.
Those are good. Above the Rim was always my favorite. Above the Rim, because it was a street ball movie. You know what I mean? And I didn't even see it till I was in my 20s. Funny enough, I'm from a white kid from Oregon. I didn't even make it. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember reading something like there wasn't even barely a marketing push behind that movie. Like White Man Can't Jump was way bigger in the box office, but it was because it had a way bigger marketing push, bigger stars. Which is funny now,
Yeah.
right? Tupac was in the.
Now.
Well, nowadays it would have been berserk, you know what I mean? But I didn't see it till I was in my 20s, so I freaking loved it because I'm like, it's like and one the movie, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked Above the Rim, and I think Hoop Dreams though, which Hoop Dreams is more of a doc.
Yeah,
It's not necessarily
book.
a movie, but like as far as the inspiration for me coming up, it was huge. Big shout out to Arthur Agee and William Gates. I was actually on their podcast. We became friends. Played against Arthur Agee in like 2007 in a celebrity game.
Wow.
And we were like cool. So we've always crossed paths over the years.
Oh, that's sick.
But,
That's like the only book I read in middle school.
Yeah.
Probably damn near school.
Oh, that's hard. I didn't even know it was a
read
book.
Hoop Dreams for every book report.
I didn't even know it was a Hoop
Yeah.
Dreams book. That's crazy. But I watched that movie more than 20 times for sure. But yeah, I think Above the Rim and Hoop Dreams are my two favorite. But I love, like you said, He Got Game and even White Man Can't Jump. I just like the California vibe and the 90s gear. And, you know, Woody is a great actor, so it's dope.
Favorite shoe of all time?
Favorite shoe of all time?
Just kind of hit me right now.
I'll go old school and new school because, like, the shoes have come a long way, so
like
they
that.
don't match up, right? But, like, back in the day, the Tai Chi, you know, senior year, I'm rocking
Vince Carter.
the Tai Chi. As far as looks, though, that Jordan 11 was special. But
Oh, so you're
and it was a great ball when it came out. It was a hoop shoe, even though, like,
you
now
guys
I can't imagine playing in it. So I'm saying three, though. For the new school, though, the Kobe 5 Proto, you can't. It's like the greatest basketball shoe of all time.
I mean, I'm not going to question you. You know if it's going to be the greatest basketball shoe.
That's coming out?
The Kobe 5 Proto? No, Kobe 5.
Hold
It
on.
came out. It's his
I
fifth
was
shoe,
gonna say-
right?
Okay.
Kobe
When you
5,
said proto,
but everybody
threw me
wears
off.
them today. So, like, they had the
the-
Kobe 5 back in the day.
Yeah.
But they re-dropped them, like, in the last... I think he was still playing. They came back out with the Proto. It was like the prototypes that never made it.
Gotcha.
And it was, like, a little bit better made. It was, like new technology, some new color. It has, like, that Bruce Lee one with the black and yellow, has the red swoop. You've seen it. Everybody in the NBA wears it, like,
know what you're talking about.
like right now.
Bruce Lee thing really helped, actually, with
I
the
have a
black
har-
and yellow suit.
Yeah, like I have a hard time not hooping in some Kobe's today, just because the elevation of the performance, it's crazy. They took notes from soccer, and then like it was a myth. You know, you can't hoop in low tops. I was on that myth up until even 5 years, not even that long ago. So I started hooping in Kobe's like very
Tell the
recent.
difference?
Oh my gosh, like the fact I wasn't hooping in Kobe's even in the last like 10, 12 years is kind of crazy. Like such a good hoop shoe. It's unbelievable. Kobe 5, 6, 8s, they're all like insane.
Do your feet hurt way more if you go play on concrete versus playing in a gym? Do you notice that?
You know what's funny? I only hoop out. I very rarely hoop in an indoor gym nowadays.
Really?
I have my own place, you know what I mean? My half court. I think it's the same. We can get toward 40. Like if I play, I got to chill for 3 days. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
really?
I'm
that.
freaking beat. It don't matter how
you're
much
going
training
hard
I
as
do.
hell, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
you're
so
going
much on the feet, but like it has to do with the quality of shoes though too. If I get some good shoes, I think I'll be all right. Like I don't really think about my feet as much. My body's zapped though. You know what I mean?
Feel
Yeah,
that.
but I mean it's hard. It's harder on your body to play outside. It helps for me because I'm not a jumper. You know, I rarely slap the backboard on the
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
That's not even in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing scoops and. You know, I'm trying to just break you off so I can shoot an easy layup or
trying to
floaters.
break
You
you
know what I
off.
mean? Floaters, and I don't shoulder people to the, so I don't really like hit the deck as much. Like the ball on the ground, I'm not diving on it. There's no now. There's a 0 chance. I'm barely playing defense. I'm trying to beat you on offense.
All right, well, this all makes sense now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to pick your battles, right? If
Yeah.
you diving on the pavement at 40. Good luck.
Yeah.
I already get injured as is, like every few months. So like, I'm just trying to stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, man.
Oh, completely just spaced on what I was going to say. I had a question for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn it, Marty.
We appreciate your fight. You were fighting through injuries just getting here.
Hard to stay healthy. I had the Achilles 2019, Achilles tear.
Damn, I completely spaced.
Covered 100% though, and like I've done therapy ever since then. I never stopped doing therapy because like if you want to play at a high level, that Achilles tear will always develop scar tissue, and it always is weaker. You know what I mean? So you gotta stay on it.
Got it.
For everything.
Just remembered.
What's
Wow,
up?
Burnt.
What up?
Do you guys ever film something? Because you guys challenge, and sometimes I just laugh at the fools. I love it when you know when a video's starting, I'm like, oh, he doesn't know who this is. Okay, this is gonna be really great.
Yeah.
Did you ever not post something? Has anybody ever just lost their mind where you just don't post it? Because I've seen some where people get visibly upset at you.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen it. And that
Yeah.
kind of goes back to, dude, one cross could get you swung on. So do you ever have something like, I'm not posting this. This is just,
You
this
got
guy
too butthurt?
Yeah, I went nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you
We've
have,
held on.
right?
We've held. Well, the thing is, we don't post everything, right? I mean, we like I said, it was Patreon or YouTube membership. You don't get a lot. You know what I mean? I think like. So yeah, the answer is yes. You know,
Okay.
people gotten upset, or I was a bad sport too. You know, I got in a fight before. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we're not gonna go there. But I think that one thing I learned too in this game, if you're not in the NBA or college, if you're trying to brand out as a hooper, like YouTube, I'm the first YouTube hooper, so I had to learn this as I went. But you got to think like an entertainer. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you should be branding the best version of yourself. You know, like I see a lot of YouTube hoopers now. They put out a game that like they get their ass busted. It's like, why is it on your channel? Like you think Michael Jackson gonna post his performance where he slipped? You know it's happened.
Of course.
But now it's on YouTube, right? You can everything comes out. But like, yeah. So I think more like an entertainer, less like a hooper. But I do think like you need to be somewhat true to the real narrative, right? Like I'm not gonna hide. Like even him, like for like losses, we have losses on the channel. I want to put out more like. It's not a bad thing. I think like for me though, like if we go on loss, like we would have bounced back with a banger the next vid, or there should be some redemption on that same one. Because basketball, you're gonna lose, right?
Yeah.
Steph Curry lose, LeBron get. But I think like you should always brand the best version of yourself, as long as it's not a. Now we see in person, it's like you can't even play. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be far off from the real life narrative, because then I think it's gonna be hard to sustain.
Yes, I'm the best ever. Yeah, you can't keep that up.
Yeah,
dude.
it's hard to sustain. But no, I mean, I would say though, I said we probably upload like 75, 80% like of everything. But yeah, we had one in particular I didn't upload. It was like we got in a fight. It was bad. Too much talking. I would look like a bad guy probably.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean, you
Plus,
lose your cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. Like I try to keep my cool every
Eventually.
time. Some dudes be so disrespectful. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's a weird
Wait,
situation. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like so much pressure on them, on you. The cameras are rolling.
it is
like,
though, and I can't blame them sometimes too, because it's like they know if it doesn't go good, it would go in public. But it's funny that on the flip side of that, it's not really a big deal though. Like I
some
got
people.
crossed up, and I've actually lost. Like recently, I played a game in Florida, and I heezy to do out top, boom, 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 boom. Off the heezy between, you know what I'm saying? I went to the rack, I was gonna go crazy. I went to the rack. I was actually gonna throw the oop to my man over here, but it looked like I was going for the lay. Dude swatted that joint to the bleachers. It did like 2 million. He posted it. He got it from the homies, posted it online, did like 2 million views. It was awesome. But like, I think, you know, it's not a bad thing either. It's great. Like, you need both sides. I can't remember exactly where I was going with that, but.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So that's just the question I have as somebody that watches the content. Like, there has to be something. My little brother's always, Johnny's always sending me the videos. I'm like, yeah, bro, I follow too, bro. I watch him. Don't worry, because my little brother's. He is basketball. That's all he's doing outside every day, you know. Doing his things. The little kid, you know, looking in the mirror, doing this, just what kids should be doing.
That's a hooper right there.
Yeah. Looking in the mirror, trying to get it
The
down.
number one thing to keep a kid out of trouble. Like,
give them something that they think,
something they
I
love.
do something with this.
Yeah, or just love it, right? Like,
Yeah.
even for me, I never mastermind what I was going to do. I would just, like, love the game. And I was like, I think I'll make the NBA. You know?
What it was for me is I just watched Stand One.
Yeah,
That's
same.
really what it was. I'm like, oh.
Same.
That's really what it was. Nobody plays basketball in Merced. It's Merced. Maybe soccer.
Where's that? Merced?
Merced is by Fresno.
Okay.
Before we get out of here, where can everybody find all your content?
Oh, check me out. The main hub. Well, really, we on all platforms.
That's what I'm saying.
The main one is Professor Live, YouTube.
Professor Live.
TikTok and Instagram, it's just The Professor. Professor Live Facebook, too. Starting that YouTube membership up, probably. If not, we're on Patreon for the moment. So be on the lookout for
And
that.
how do you get to pay? It's just The Professor on Patreon?
Professor Live.
Professor Live on Patreon.
Yeah, anything I do is going to be extension of the YouTube just because that's where you get majority of the traffic. You know what I mean?
That's where you send them there, and then they can just click the links from there.
Yeah, but if you search Professor Live or The Professor, just come up on Google. Twitter's The Professor. So.
And your clothing. Your clothing.
globalhooper.com. Check it out. New drop actually coming next 2 weeks. So I'm really excited about that.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Do you design everything yourself?
I do actually. I had fun with it. It was like started off as hobby and really fun. Like I'm trying to go big with it, but not knowing what going big actually entails. Like I learned a lot about the clothing industry. Just obviously being signed to it, I learned a lot. But then being in it, you learn more. So like it started off as hobby. Me and my homies rock it. Obviously some fans, very few fans. You know, you always sell to less than 1% of your audience, right? Like nobody really turns a buy unless they're super invested.
That's true.
So started out as a hobby, but then it grew. It's like we sell out of drops. Like it's not like the culture's waiting on it, but I do actually want to try to make that play. You know what I'm saying? Like go big with it. But it's globalhooper.com. It's the highest quality merch brand you'll find.
Nice, dude.
Literally on the internet. Like you'll think it's supreme. It's crazy.
Good. See, that's the way you have to kind of pitch yourself. When
It's
somebody
true.
gets in and goes,
Yeah.
oh, I love the Professor more. Look at this tag. Look at that. That's what we try to do. But if somebody gets a hat and there's threads hanging out, you don't go, damn, I hate New Era. But if you get the Professor, like you have someone to go get pissed at now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's as a small business owner, you're like,
Like
no,
it
it's
all
gotta be
works.
perfect.
It all works, but it does represent you. I think like at the end of the day though, we're in the merch era. And even me, like I'll buy a shirt off of Redbubble or like Walmart and I'll be like, it's lit. I ain't even trade. I know it itches and you don't wash it, right?
I know it itches.
It's over, but like you don't really care because you're so happy to rep whatever that old school or whatever that entity is. It's
true.
So like think about it. I ordered some of the hottest merch online, like as a test. I was looking at like Nelk Boys or even Logan Paul, right? Like I saw and I ordered just to see what that thing was made. That thing was trash, but
Oh, a lot of people do that,
It
man.
didn't matter. You repping it for the love, and it's like a t-shirt's a t-shirt. It can't be that bad. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Oh, they can.
so respect to merch, but if you do come to Global Hoop, it's gonna be lit. Like trust me.
That's good,
Love
man.
that.
As long as you have that
Confidence and the
the
quality.
confidence and the passion behind it. Like you said, I just ordered it to see what it's like.
It's not even fake though.
I've done that before.
Yeah, like people say stuff online, like they'll say it's just like Supreme, Nike, Adidas, and like that's kind of gas, like 2 tiers. But it's like no, I'm like literally, I found spent time finding some great manufacturers who can do it at a
so hard to do.
discounted rate.
Yeah, it's so hard. Dude,
Yeah,
we
it's
spent
it's
years.
super hard, and you need 7 figures. Like you do a real brand, like you need 7 figures,
Yeah, it takes money, man. Or
Yeah.
at least 600K.
Yeah, to pay your bills.
Yeah, like,
And
and you need a
then-
team. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to do it for real. Like you need
For
a
real.
team. You need to in-house a lot of it. You know, it's tough.
Yeah, you're not doing DDG then, right? You're doing it all yourself.
Yeah, we'd consider that in certain seasons, but no, it's
I don't
in-house.
like
We don't do
DDG.
DDG right now.
I don't
no.
like it.
It's a money play, and I'm not mad because you don't spend a dime. It's like, it's lit.
Yeah.
But you know, it doesn't have your
Different
touch on
scenarios.
it. I feel like you're like, oh yeah, 30 orders, print them and make them send them. I never
Well,
saw
we'll
it.
pre-sale it though, not DDG, but like we'll pre-sale it. So like
That's different.
Here's the mock. Here we make a real sample.
Completely
or
different.
5 samples up a week.
Most
rock
people
or
do
2.
that.
And then like you might get in a week or 2, but like it is what it is. Like people probably want it overnight,
Yeah.
and we've done it. We used to do it like that. our thing was
It's a lot
crazy,
more
but it's
work.
like, yeah, you lose money too. It's like
Yeah.
you keeping that inventory. It's like, man, we could have sold out of this 2 more
I
times.
have 16 smalls that nobody bought.
Yeah.
I know you're paying, bro. I have a
Got a
clothing
warehouse
so I'm like,
full of it.
Yeah.
oh, there's 8 red shirts left. Nobody bought the red.
No.
I
And then when you
feel
first get
you.
in, you just think it's lit to have a warehouse, right?
Yep.
You like real small ball.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, the warehouse, the headquarters.
Oh, I need one.
It's like, don't nobody care about your headquarters.
Yeah, throw it on. I feel you, dude. That's what I did, but it's starting to work out, so I get it. So globalhooper.com, that's where everybody can find you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty?
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
anything
This
else
was
you
so
wanna say?
legendary.
Hey,
Even
humble,
for
bro.
me and my kid. What other guest is like, my little 8-year-old so stoked. He's got to come up here as stoked as I am for it. Thank you, man. We appreciate
Hey,
it.
and congrats on your guys' podcast, man.
Thank you.
I'm aspiring to start a podcast too, so I'm drawing
Nice.
inspiration from seeing how you guys did it from the ground up.
Thank
So
you,
dude.
appreciate you guys
Thank
having me
you.
on,
Appreciate
bro.
it.
Humble.
Yeah. Thank you. Anything else, Marty?
No, man, I just appreciate you being here.
go.
And when you come back, I'm excited to see what other stuff you're going to have, you know, some year or whatever from now, see what's going on with all your different businesses and all your different videos and stuff. It's just inspiring.
Yeah, thanks
to
for
see.
pumping those out, man. I mean, like I said, I watch him. My little brother, he's 25 years younger than me. That fool's on it.
You got to bring him next
Notifications.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he asked. He lives 4 hours away. I'm like, I don't know if I can get you over here in 4 hours.
Drive,
away,
my bro. Come on.
I know, but my dad's ain't gonna do that. I already know he ain't gonna do it.
Feel you,
But
feel you.
I appreciate you being here.
Thank you
Thank
guys,
you so
bro.
much.
Appreciate you guys.
you, sir.
From Marty, damn, I'm burnt. I didn't even smoke. Sorry. From Marty and I, and from the professor, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been the Dope as Usual podcast. Have a dope ass day.
Thanks for watching the podcast. If you thought this was dope, you'll like this episode too. And don't forget, the best way to support the show, tell a homie.